Words cannot express the anguish our family and friends have endured since he kidnapped and brutally murdered Samantha. From the day I found out I was having Sammy, I was in love with her. As a mother, you worry and pray that your child will be safe, happy, and healthy. When she was sad, I was sad. When she was happy, so was I. Her dreams were my dream, and her death was my death. I close my eyes and I feel what she endured at his hands 120 times, over and over and over, fighting for her life, locked in his car. I used to have dreams for her. Now will I have her nightmares 120 times. The final moments, her bare feet kicking and fighting for her life. I visualize the blood flowing from her body, her beautiful body, 120 times for what? The $35 a college student has in her bank account? The loss of Sammy is beyond words. There'll be no more birthday parties, backyard gatherings, holiday celebrations, or activities to share with her. I was planning my trip to Columbia in 2019 to watch my daughter graduate from college. Instead, I went to Columbia to gather her belongings. I cannot watch my daughter graduate from law school, get married, or have children, all of which were her dreams. Her laughter, hugs, guidance, advice, and opportunities to tell her I love her are gone. Our family of four is forever broken. All I have are memories of the past and thoughts about what her final moments on earth must have been like. He erased my future with Sammy, but he cannot touch my memories. The excruciating pain he put her through is unimaginable. I pray that when Sammy closed her eyes, she thought of beautiful things. His evil face was not the last thing she saw before she took her last breath. I pray that her grandparents and uncle wrapped her in her loving arms. In 1 second, our lives changed. I miss her. Everything she touched was better because she made it so. The lessons she taught me as a mom are carried through me forever. She brightened up the day with her smile. The pain and loss are beyond words. He changed me forever. The heinous and brutal crime could have happened to anyone. Sammy was a reflection of everyone's child. Sammy had a bright future. She worked hard to accomplish her goals. She was kind and compassionate and would never hurt anyone. She did not prey upon others. I walked hand in hand with her throughout her 21 years. Her death sliced through my heart. Now I see sadness in ordinary days. I miss her heartfelt laugh. I am breathless and I want my Sammy. Such a heinous, vicious crime. Why? I spent the last 2 years asking myself that question. He cut out a piece of me. I'm bleeding silently. You don't see it. I try to move forward each day, but forever will be broken. One cannot explain the grief my family feels. There was no warning, no time to say goodbye, no time to tell Sammy all the things I would have wanted to say, no time to kiss her kepala. We were thrown into this world of terror. My world is now incomplete. Nothing but memories can fill the emptiness of Sammy's passing. I miss her precious voice, her giggles and humor. I long to know that she closed her eyes and visualized her family in peace and not his face. I will never comprehend why he did what he did. I try not to dwell on how she died. Rather, I want to remember how she lived, but I'm not there yet. I had the gift of being Samantha's mother for 21 years. I despised everything about him. His eyes glaring at my family during the trial told me everything I already knew about him. He is pure evil. Samantha fought for her life because her life was worth fighting for. I wish I could gather the broken pieces of my heart. I am breathless. I want my Sammy. The ache that spreads throughout my body hurts more each day. I cannot fully express how it feels to lose a daughter. The ache, the longing, endlessly tearing me up inside. He's a monster, he's evil and pathetic. The excruciating pain he put my daughter through is unimaginable. I am shattered, angry, and heartbroken. His ruthless, violent act took a bright light out of my universe and changed many lives forever. He stole my beliefs. However, I pray every day. I pray that he feels Samantha's pain. I pray that he get what he deserves under the law. I pray that he never has a chance to hurt anyone ever again. Everyone has choices. He may not like them now, but it was his choice to kidnap and murder Sammy, and he will have to face the consequence of his choices. I ask the court, I ask your honor to impose the strictest sentence upon him so that he may never walk the streets as a free man again for the rest of his life.
Thank you, Judge, for the opportunity to stand here and share with you the impact of losing my baby daughter, Samantha Josephson. I really don't know where to start or what to say. Do I stand here today and tell you that I've been an incredible amount of anger, an incredible amount of guilt, can't sleep at night. I don't want to go to sleep because all I do is start thinking of Samantha. I still, to this day, can't watch videos of Samantha. I hate looking at pictures. I have repeated nightmares and visions of him, the monster, stabbing her. I have visions of her, foot on the back window. I have visions of her screaming and fighting. I have visions of her taking her last breath. I have such hatred running through me. I still, to this day, can't believe she is gone. I keep waiting for her to walk through the door, saying, "Hey," only the way she does. I had this guilt of her not coming home that weekend to visit Rutgers Law School. The weekend prior, we were at Drexel Law School, where she had a full scholarship, and Rutgers was only offering 60 or 70%. I just told her that she would be fine at Drexel Law School, and not to bother with Rutgers. So over money, I told her not to. And Drexel was great, and it'd be a free ride. With all this guilt and anger and rage and hatred, do I tell you that has this really affected me? Do I really share with you my deepest secrets? Do I tell you that I've contemplated suicide? Several times over the past 28 months. He, the monster, has stolen this bright light, this enthusiasm of life out of me. I tried to stop having these thoughts or desires only because I'm afraid of what this would ultimately do to Sydney and Marci. I know I have changed so dramatically that it's actually bad to put into words. People always ask, "How are you doing?" My answer is, "I'm upright," or "I'm living the dream," or the nightmare. I stand here before you for Marci, Sydney, Samantha, to make sure justice is served for Samantha. I would tell you, Judge, for the first 2 years, I didn't even know his name. I never wanted to hear his name, or I still don't want to know or hear his name. I stand here for the last week in bewilderment, asking, how in the world did we get here? Why is he, this animal, have any rights? How is it okay for him to go over to his family freely during breaks, unchanged? Why does he have this right with an avalanche of evidence while the family and friends sit here in such pain, wishing and wanting to have our Samantha back? But no, with 120 wounds and stabbings, you or anyone cannot bring her back. But we have him walking and talking to his family freely. It kills me to witness this. I often think of Sammy or go to call her. As a matter of fact, until recently, we still had her cell phone active, so I could call or text her. A lot of the times I think of Sammy sitting on the couch, looking at my two favorite pictures of Sam and one of Sydney and Sam together. She is such a beautiful person, inside and out. Samantha was to graduate that spring of 2019 from the University of South Carolina. She was going to attend Drexel Law School on a full scholarship in Philadelphia. She wanted to help others and fight for people's rights. Samantha was one of the kindest, light-hearted, funny people you would have met. Obviously, she trusted too many people. Just recently, last week, I received an email from one of her freshman 101 professors. She mentioned how funny and bright-hearted she was, how memorable she was, how she was the bright light and stood out with her class. Sorry. We would sit on the couch in the family room and just talk about everything, from politics to the world. She would listen, ask questions, digest it, and then give her opinions. Sammy would call me late at night to talk about the news, the world, or anything. Both of my kids knew or know how to wrap me around their fingers. Each of them are different, but know how to sucker me in. I knew or know this, but I would laugh. I knew or know this, but I would laugh and smile and always say yes. Samantha always knew I would say yes and buy them whatever. I have to say, I miss and ache for that. That night of her kidnapping and murder, she called me about using my credit card because supposedly hers didn't work with Uber or Lyft. I said, really? But okay. I often find myself alone and not wanting to be around anyone. I force myself to go out or be around people. I've had a bad time putting up with people and their BS, so I've eliminated some people and their negative personalities. I just don't care anymore. We started a foundation in Samantha's honor. Part of my responsibilities is to go around and speak to groups, colleges, businesses on rideshare safety, and they always ask, how do you do this? I would just answer, no clue. But not doing this for a while, I looked back and thought about it. It was cathartic. I was keeping Sammy around me, with me, and not letting anybody forget, not even him, to take this from me. I won't let him. Someone always asks me, what was Samantha like? The only way I can best describe Samantha is when we were at the vigil in South Carolina, and some of her friends and sorority friends got up to speak. All of them described Samantha as a person who lit up a room, always smiling and laughing, always a great friend, and lit that room up when she entered it. When we got back to Robbinsville, approximately 6 or 8 of her friends got up to speak at the vigil. Each one said that Sammy was her best friend. And some could not get up to speak. That, to me, is a true testament of how great she is. Even to this day, the lasting impression and feelings she had or has on them. I look at my wife, and she's not even close to being the same. I have lost a huge piece of her, along with Samantha. Every day, I look at her and only wish I could do something to take that pain away. Her memory, laughter, her ease of life, her flame that burns inside is way down. My Sydney, she lost her best friend, her confidant, her baby sister. She is who I worry the most about moving forward. Sammy was a gaffer, talked a lot. Sid is tight now and keeps a lot in. In the end, you have taken my baby away. I will never see her graduate from college, law school, walk her down the aisle, and get married. To see the children, the grandchildren, all the milestones that one would normally experience if an animal or a monster did not take them away from us. And for what? What did you get from Sam? $10? $20? He took her life. Only an animal or monster does that. Judge, I only wish we could inflict the same or more pain he inflicted upon Sammy. Please, I beg you, please, give him life and never see the light.